Hello everyone and welcome to another Stitch with me. Today is Saturday afternoon and I'm just settling down in my little craft room to do a bit of stitching, and I'm very happy for you to join me, and I'm going to be working on Riverwalk charm, which is one of my oldest projects, whips, whatever you want to call it. And I've actually got the information here. I know I've got a little picture of it on the bottom of the screen there, but on this piece of paper that I just happen to have beside me, it's for those who don't know, it's artwork by Ruane Manning, and I'm doing the regular version, and it's 700 by 547 stitches, which is pretty big. It's not as big as supersized, but it's not far off. But this one has 89 colours, and as you can see, I'm working just at the top here, although I have completed, I'll just show you again on here, I have completed the whole top left section, all this red building and these two buildings here. I've completed most of the top part of this tree, so I'm coming up along here to the right, just past this bit of blue sky. And yeah, I decided to go a little bit more towards the right than continue working down, so I could eventually see, you know, some progress happening on the right side of this canvas, which if you keep going downwards, you end up, you know, not seeing much progress towards the right. I'm going to have to pull this a little bit more towards me. I think my Q-snap today keeps sort of sinking. I don't know why that is, so please bear with me. If it goes down too low, I will have to lift it up again. So yeah, I'm going to do about half an hour of stitching and see if I can get a little bit more progress here. So my method at the moment is I'm using 25 count even weave fabric. I'm working 10th stitch and I'm working down and I'm parking. I think that's pretty much it. It's normally what I have been doing on this chart for the last while, but I was working page by page. Well, actually more than a page by page. I did about 4 pages at the beginning on the top left, and then I said I'm just going to carry on along the top. I may start working down again, I don't know. I just keep going in any direction I fancy, really. I just wanted to get, to see a bit more of this blue sky, to be honest, because I was doing a lot of tree and a lot of browns. Sometimes it's nice to get a little bit of a break from a set of colours that you're doing all the time, and you see that there's another colour scheme going on somewhere else in the chart. It's actually easier to pop across when you've got a grid, if you want to like skip a certain area. I haven't seen too many stitchers kind of jump through a whole chart just to get to a certain area, although I think I have seen Stitching Mummy's video recently, and this woman is a superwoman, I tell you, she's amazing. She's using very small count, she's using very small holes, and she's doing the stitching shelf, which is like super big, and she's not just sort of working consistently over rows or columns or anything. She's gone through most of the chart into every season and counted like as far down as to the bottom of the chart, sort of doing little bits and pieces where you can see little details, and it's like little outlines everywhere. And I'm thinking, my goodness, she is a counting genius, because I would be terrified to do that. I'm too terrified to even count down to about here, like three blocks down, because my counting skills aren't that fantastic, I have to say. It can depend. If I'm tired, they're going to be worse, and if it's night time, getting close to bedtime, it's dreadful. If I'm feeling sharp and I'm not too tired and I'm, you know, paying attention, it's not so bad. I guess it's always like that with everything. However, I still like to err on the side of caution, and I don't like to just go too crazy. Now I am finding that this tent It's going a bit quicker than my 1/1 full cross, for definite. Oh, what happened there? I think I went down the wrong hole. How can you go down the wrong hole in tent? That's just ridiculous, isn't it? You've only got a choice of 4 holes. Oh, I shouldn't have gone up there. I honestly think I need to have like a whiskey or something and then start again. Okay. Now I've got to try and make this thread last till I get at least the bottom of the square, because it's really annoying when you're like 1 stitch short, like really 1 stitch short of being able to finish a square. What's happened here? Okay. I really am on the last of this thread now. Okay, I really do feel like my Q-snap is just sinking, which is ridiculous. I'm going to try and get this Q-snap a bit higher, because for some reason, let's see. Okay, let's see if I can tighten it up enough so that if it does slide down, at least you'll be able to see my stitches and they won't just disappear at the bottom of the screen. Or is it just going to be one of those days? I don't know. It looks to me like it's going to be one of those days, actually. Tightened it as much as I can. It's still kind of drooping for some reason. I don't want to break the Q-snap because that would be awful. And I have heard of them breaking. I've heard people telling me that they've snapped, which is really unfortunate. I really have to get rid of this thread now. It's no good. Yeah, it won't stay straight. It just decides that it's going to... Do you know what? I'm going to try and put a little piece of rubber. This often works for me. In case you haven't seen this trick, I had a hot water bottle that was broken, so I cut a little piece of this out of the hot water bottle and I place it at this end, just where the Lowry stand clamp goes on top, and it really helps to keep it firm. So I'm going to try that now and see if it's going to work. Come on, I don't want to spend this whole video trying to mess about with my Lowry stand instead of stitching. Let's just get on with it. Okay, right, got that in. Now I'm going to wind it back up and see if that helps clamp it a bit better. Yeah, I think so. Fingers crossed, guys, that this is going to work now, because I could feel the whole Q-snap thing sliding. I'm not even going to edit this bit because this might be useful to some of you who have that same problem, because I'm using the 11 by 17 inch Q-snap. So it's very long horizontally. And sometimes the weight of it, I think, makes it awkward. So this has actually helped. Putting that little strip of rubber that I cut out into the clamp has actually helped, giving it more, keeping it more steady. So there we go. It's a little trick that I figured out, and it's actually helping a lot. So where am I going now? I'm just going to try and get some of these threads out of the way, if I can. So let's see, when I last did the Stitch With Me, and I was working on Sister Moon by Amy Stewart, I was talking about doing a chart. One chart, focusing like on one chart every month, and then having a focus piece, like any chart that I like, plus a focus piece. What am I doing? Hang on a minute, what have I done here? I seem to have... Oh, I've highlighted the wrong stitch. Which stitch is this one? Hang on. Oh, I can see it's going to be one of those days. Oh, that's on the line there. Okay. Sorry guys, I highlighted the wrong stitch on Pattern Keeper. That's that. So I wasn't going to stitch what I thought I should stitch. I don't have a lot of thread here, so this is another one that's going to be awkward. I'm just going to end this thread as well. So I was doing Sister Moon, and I thought I'd pick one. I would pick one chart and then do another chart. So I have one focus piece, and other pieces I would randomly rotate per month. I still kind of like that idea. So somebody else suggested to me also, what about picking a chart according to season? So I could work, you know, on a summery kind of chart when it's summer. And so if I was to work per season, then I would be looking at charts that are a bit summery, or charts that are a bit wintry, springy, and so on. So I haven't really worked for a while on my grandparents and fireflies, so I thought I would do that one for October, because I like the October Halloween theme, and I like to work on something that's a bit dark. So there we go. I thought it would be good to do that one. I think I've made a mistake here actually. Again, I'm really not paying attention today to what I'm stitching. This is what's happening to me today whilst I'm... Oh, here we go. Just got to highlight a stitch that I shouldn't have stitched, but I'm just going to mark it off anyway. And I think I've should have done this one here. Yeah, just mark it off, because otherwise I'm going to go back and get myself confused. So working a Halloween theme sounds like fun. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. Whoops. Do that stitch. Sorry, just mumbling to myself about which stitch I've just done. Just done those two. There we are. I think I'm on track now. Come on, keep with it and stop messing around. So grandparents and fireflies, because it's got that gorgeous, and I can put it up on the screen for you to see now. It's got that gorgeous autumn feel to it, Halloween style, slightly gothic but quirky and fun illustration. I'm going to work that one as much as I can of that one in October, and I'd like to be able to come back and show you the progress after a few weeks. That's what I think I'd like to do. So that's the idea kind of at the moment. Then let's see, I was thinking I might do Sister Moon as the focus piece, so that one would be coming out for a little bit of a stitch nearly every day or every other day or 3 or 4 times a week, whatever I can. However, even though I said that, I'm still really interested in making other ones a focus piece. So I haven't decided on the focus piece, to the point that if I can't decide on a focus piece, there will not be a focus piece. I will just stitch mostly on the one I've chosen for October, which is Grandparents and Fireflies by Vincent Fleming, and then maybe I can just pick up any other one I want. Maybe that'll work better. So that will give me one solid piece to try and get as much done as I could, and then I can vary it with all the other whips. Maybe that's a better idea than just sticking to 2 rigid, because I'm not really known, and I know I've heard this from a lot of other floss tubers, I'm not really good with sticking to plans. The minute I make a plan, I unplan or it all derails. So I'm not a successful planner. I can make the plans, but I'm not successful at sticking to them. So, you know, by this point I should realize that really I should just be finding other ways of managing things. Or maybe just, instead of calling it a plan, calling it something else. What do you think? Gosh, I'm feeling like I've got stitches missing here that are marked off in Pattern Keeper, but they're not done on here. So I don't know what's going on with that. So even if you make no plans, I think that could be called a plan. Ironically, my plan is to have no plan. I think that tickles me, actually. What's the plan? There isn't one. Oh, good. That's a great plan. So tell me about your plans, guys, because I like to hear about what other people are planning, and how, you know, how likely is it that you stick to your plans? That's also interesting for me to know. How likely is it that you would stick to your plans? Are you really, really, like, you know, good at sticking resolutely to a plan? Do you follow up those goals or whatever completely, or do you tend to abandon them? And how do you feel about it? How do you feel about it if you actually go off the rails like I do sometimes? And like I was trying out the whip go thing and then it wasn't really working. How do you feel about it when your plan disintegrates? I'm sure for some people it doesn't really bother them, and maybe others just feel like, you know, like not a failure exactly, but just feel a bit disappointed maybe. I'm sure that happens too. But to be honest, I think I'm happiest when I'm just stitching on the chart that has called to me on that day or that particular time. Like, for instance, just now I've sat down and thought, well, I feel like doing a bit of this one. That's been very spontaneous. There has been no plan for it. There is no goal amount of stitches. None of this, I want to achieve anything. It's just straightforward stitching without thinking about achievements. And I think that's okay too, because at the end of the day, stitching is just stitching. And some people thrive on those kind of numbers and goals, whereas sometimes I feel it can put me under a bit of pressure, and that's not really a pleasant sensation. So now I've noticed what looks to me like where I'm pointing there with the needle looks like I've missed a stitch, but I think what it is that the stitch I did, I kind of botched that stitch so bad it just disappeared, so it looks like it's not there. It's probably been pulled right to the back of the fabric, so I'll have to go back, and because it definitely looks like a little hole, I'll have to go back and do a stitch there. I'm not even bothered what colour it is that goes in there. I'm not going to start counting. I'm just going to put in a bit of a green or a brown, because I don't want a big vacant hole, because that looks pretty obvious, that one. So I feel like this chart's going to take me ages, but that's when I start to say to myself, don't think about the end goal, think about the process, because the process is what you should be enjoying. So I'm trying to do that, honestly, because I know that these big charts, these big full coverage charts, are going to take a while, and that is something you need to be prepared to deal with before you decide to start them, really. And if you're not worried about a finish, even better, because you'll just enjoy it even more. So in my next stitch with me, I could come back and work on the Grandparents and Fireflies. If you would like me to work on Grandparents and Fireflies by Vincent Fleming on my next stitch with me, please put your hand up or say something in the comments. Or if you would like me to do a different one, then let me know which one it is. I have playlists on my channel with all my heids, which are now up to about 9 in total. So any of those 9, although I have put a couple of them to one side just so that I think I just needed to kind of narrow it down a little bit. I was getting a bit overwhelmed with so many, so I've put a couple of them to like really put them away. Like they're not coming out this year. I don't know about next year. They might come out next year, but I'm really not feeling it this year, and I want to just concentrate on getting progress on the ones that I'm doing, especially like this one, which has been started. I think it was 2020 I started this one. I don't know for certain. I have it written down somewhere. So yeah, it's not that long ago for such a big chart. And I'm now at just nearly 19%. I'm at 18.97%. So I'm nearly at 19%, which I think is pretty good. So we're nearly at 20% after coming up to 2 years maybe. Okay, that's that colour done. So considering I've started so many others after this and gotten so much progress on all the others as well, I don't think it's bad to have got up to nearly 20% in 2 years. That's like 10% a year. So yeah, we're talking 10 years at this rate. 20% over 2 years, yeah. Oh well. The thing is, it's hard to tell unless you stick to like rigid numbers, stitching numbers. It's hard to know exactly when you're finished. If you go a little bit spontaneous like I have been doing, there's actually no real way of knowing or keeping track, because if it's that random, then you can't really predict a set date or time. So I know anyway that I'm coming back into the tree section of this chart. I was really enjoying doing the blues there, and I thought the little yellows that you get in there are really nice, kind of give it a nice texture. And I think I can't wait to have this chart up on my wall. Honestly, it's going to look so amazing once I get it framed. I think it's actually going to be the eye-opening. It's going to be the piece that people are going to be impressed with the most when they come over, I think, because not only because of its size, because the colours on it are just so vibrant. And there was a couple of moments, and they didn't happen for long, but there was a couple of moments when I actually thought of UFOing this one, and then now I think, how could I even think that? Like, that's a crazy thing to think, because it's such a beautiful chart. Why would I want to do that? But I think I was just having one of those crazy moments, or one of those bad days when you just hate everything. Basically, you're just not feeling anything. But now I really am, and I'm quite happy working on this one again, because I had put it down and I only did like dribbles of it, but then I got into doing it for a couple of weeks solidly, and I got a good load of progress done when I did that. So we shall get there in the end, as they say. So that's where we're at, and there's no plan. The only plan I have is to do Grandparents and Fireflies for October, which isn't so much a plan as it is more of a desire, I think. And I'm just leaving it open like that. If I decide halfway through October to switch to something else, I might do that. I'm never going to say, oh, this has to be set in stone, because of my bad track record with trying to set things in stone. So I do apologise to people who prefer to know what us floss tubers are planning to do, because maybe it's easier for you to predict or follow when someone says, I'm going to work on this one and do so many stitches. But I don't think that works for everybody. So yeah, it just doesn't work for everybody. Oh, I can hear the kitty cat is stirring behind me, and I hope she doesn't decide to jump on the desk, which she could do any moment because she's very demanding, extremely demanding. When she wants attention, it's like clambering around your feet, running into your legs, you know, trying to trip you over and kill you in the kitchen. Yeah, I honestly, sometimes it's very frustrating as well, because you're trying to make school packed lunches and things, or breakfast in the morning, and she's screaming her head off around your legs. She wants you to feed her and pick her up and all sorts of stuff, and yeah, it can get a bit tense. But I think that is pretty much the nature of a lot of cats. They're quite demanding. But generally, she is a very cuddly, snuggly cat. She's now coming up to 5 months. She's doubled in size. She's very greedy. And we're trying hard not to overfeed her, to give her just as much as she needs and not, you know, give in to her whims of crying for food like 10 minutes after she's eaten. She's a bit greedy, I have to say. But she's very sweet. She likes to, definitely likes to be picked up and snuggle up with you when you're watching TV. She likes to snuggle up. She'll even sit on your lap. Oh, hello, Misty. She's coming out of her bed where she's been sleeping. Where am I parking this one? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so no regrets getting the little kitty. We always said we wanted to get one as soon as we settled into our own place, and she's just adorably cute. I'm just parting some of the threads I don't need to work with. And just working downwards with the ones that I'm picking up. There was one day this week where I was having real trouble threading the needle, and I don't think there was anything wrong with the needle. Usually I thread needles very quickly. And then I wondered if it was I had a bit of soap in my hands or grease on my fingers. You know, I was trying to figure out why is today such a bad day for threading the needle. And I think it just happens sometimes the threads feel like they're going to be annoying and just don't want to go in that needle. And then other days you can thread them in seconds. I think it's just one of those mysteries, you know. So, where are we? This has actually gone quite fast. I've actually got into the swing of this, because earlier I thought it was all going to go into a big mess. And thank goodness it didn't. Where else are we now? Let's do the one. Doing the ones at the bottom. It's a little bit easier. That one there. Who knew that you could get so many colours to make up these trees, huh? So many of them. So I'm just going to do squaring it off sort of down here helps me to keep things kind of neat, just in case I want to get one of my funny turns and decide to do diagonal again or something. And if I decide to do that, then it's easier to do when you start with, with a nice clean canvas. If you're all doing cross country all over and you suddenly say, I want to work in columns or something, it takes a little bit more effort to get the whole thing back into a recognizable, or into an easy state where you can change your technique. But so for instance, I can carry on to the end and then I can start doing a diagonal instead if I wanted to. That isn't what I've decided as yet, but you never know. I do enjoy diagonal stitching too. Oh, my nose is itching. Floss tube itchy nose. I think all of us, many of us have identified that. Okay, which colour is this one I'm doing now? Is it that one? Yeah. Coming into some lighter colours down here. So yeah, if some people have asked me, when do I think I'm going to finish this chart? Let's just ask me again in 5 years and I might have a better idea. Or maybe some idea. That's really all I can say. But for now, we're going good. Going good. Goodness, I can hear a tapping noise and I'm not sure if it's the cat or whether it's another bird on the roof. My seagull friend Lionel hasn't been around for a while, so I'm wondering if he's gone to bird heaven or decided to go and live on somebody else's roof. But he hasn't been visible through our skylight for ages. So yeah, he's taken off somewhere else. So don't forget, guys, let me know if you've got a specific chart you'd like to see me do in a stitch with me. Let me know. And if I get too many variations of replies, then I'll just pick one and then I'll do the other one the next time and so on. Oh, where are we at? But it's good that I feel like I'll be able to get some good progress on all of these charts, even for the rest of the year. Because 7 charts, 7 Hades, and we've got, how long have we got? Oh no, sorry, we've only got 3 months left. Well, if I did 2 per month, that's 6. Yeah, so 6 charts that we'll get work done on. It's not bad going. No, I think I'm gonna. I've only got 2 parked here, but my pattern keeper says I've got 3 colours parked here. Why is it saying that? Oh. Again, another problem with marking things off. If I don't mark things off, we get into a mess. I tell you, sometimes yellow can be difficult to see on the white. As some people say, white is a difficult colour to see, but so is yellow, or light yellow. Or maybe it's just my eyes. We don't have a lot of colours left here on this side. So I have a whole bunch of ironing to do, which I am really happily avoiding at the moment. I think I would rather stitch, I don't know, death by cross stitch long dog sampler than do the ironing, to be honest. I really do not enjoy doing the ironing. I think I've just done a wrong stitch. Have I? Can't even tell, see? I've got all these colours. No, yeah, I did. I went down the wrong hole. Uh-oh, my bad. See, trying to even count inside a 10 by 10 square is a challenge. 2, 3, down. Then I've got this one, and that's all my parked stitches along this little column that I've been working on. Then I'll have to go to the other colours. I'll have to pick out the colours for the rest, but that's okay. Cat's behaving, which is a plus. I don't really want her jumping up on my knee right this moment. It can be an awful fright when they jump up and you're not expecting them to, especially when you haven't had a pet for like a number of years, and then all of a sudden you kind of forget that you've even got one, and then suddenly they appear up on your knee, give you a fright. And she's got this mad half-hour thing at 7 o'clock in the morning, so if you open the door, she's immediately happy, does this kind of burr sound, trots in, starts scratching all the furniture, starts jumping all over the bed, starts nose booping us, and you think, oh well, you know, if she just kind of settles there, you can get a little bit more, like an extra 10 minutes sleep, but there's no way. She's just like diving at your toes, you know, trying to play. It's like, oh, I don't want to play at 7 o'clock. So I really hope she gets out of that habit of wanting to play at 7 o'clock in the morning. But I've got a feeling it's going to be a while. Oh, that's not the right place for that one. Yeah, it is. Okay, so that is, I've only got to fill in a couple of more squares here on this side, then I am done with that row. And I think I'm only going to go as far as where the Q-snap ends, and then I'm going to start working down. And I think I might go down back towards the left, or I might go down here, start, because sometimes I actually like working from right to left. I'm not being funny, but I'm okay with right to left. I think it's down up that gets me a little bit confused. So I think I'm going to leave it there for this stitch with me, guys, and I'm ready to go and get a cold drink. And also, yeah, I just want to say thanks for joining me, and sorry I don't have anything exciting to say, but you know, it's been pleasurable just to sit here and do a bit of stitching anyway, and I'm glad you could join me if you've come this far and you're still listening. So until next time, I hope you take care and have a good rest of weekend and a good week next week. and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.